In my last episode, during the last presentation, I had described how to escape death and seriousness in COVID. Now, that was by using the principle of wisdom of the body. That is, when the virus is there still in the nose and throat region, that is nasopharynx oropharynx, in the initial stages of the COVID infection, then they can be expelled out from the body by different procedures. Some innovative procedures I had described last time. Today, I am going to describe and show a few other innovative procedures by which the virus will get killed, not expelled from the body, but they will get killed in the body, in the nose and throat region. And the principle that I am going to follow today is kill the killers before they kill you. Kill the killers before they kill you. But how? How to kill them? Simple, by surgical strike. Well, this may look odd, but this term surgical strike is quite popular in India since quite some time. So I am using that term surgical strike. Now, how to do surgical strike? When the virus is still in the nose and throat region, in the initial stage of the COVID infection, then the surgical strike can be done on them and they can get killed in the nose and throat region. Now, surgical strike is done using various weapons in the real sense, that is, guns, LNG, rocket launcher. Now, in this case, also, we are using few weapons for surgical strike. One is the spray, one is the swab, and the third one is I'm keeping it under suspense. I will tell after some time. Now, in all these three, what is the active principle? Sorry, the principle here is, before telling the principle here, let me tell you, the hand sanitizer we use, it contains 70% ethyl alcohol plus certain other substances. This is for color, for giving smell, good smell to it. But the active principle is ethyl alcohol 70% or more strength. Now, within few seconds, when we apply it on the hands, within few seconds, the virus gets killed. When the ethyl alcohol can kill the virus here in the hands, why can't it kill it when it's there in the throat and nose regions? Now, that is the principle I'm going to use. 70% ethyl alcohol is to be applied to these areas. Now, while telling about 70% ethyl alcohol, let me just stress on a few points. Many people are habituated to taking drinks which contain, which is basically alcoholic beverage. It contains alcohol, and one may be tempted to use that drink here in place of ethyl alcohol, but that's not going to be effective because the drinks, the ethyl alcohol that is present in the drinks, it's usually 40 to 45% strong. But here we need at least 70% or above strength of ethyl alcohol. So that's why that is not going to be effective. Secondly, some people may be tempted, since it is also ethyl alcohol, may be tempted to use it as drinks. But that is to be avoided because this is only for medicinal purposes. 70% alcohol is not advisable to be taken. So with that, now let me give the demo how this is to be useful, how we are going to have a surgical strike on the virus in the nose and throat using these weapons. One is the spray. One is the nasal spray. That is, you can use something which is convenient to be put into the nose in the spray form, like this one. You can see very fine spray is coming out. So that can be used, put into the nose. This will contain, this of course other medicine, it is just to show you the spray bottle, but ethyl alcohol filled, this nasal spray can be used to go into the nose. Another way, a narrow stream will be there in the spray which can be put into the nose easy conveniently, like this. You can see the single spray, so that I put into the nose, to the other nose as well. like this. It could be a bit irritating because it contains ethyl alcohol and good strength, 70% strength. That is the nasal spray. Virus that's present in the nose will get killed. This is a different spray I have used for throat region because the throat is wider area, so it needs little wider coverage. Now this type of spray gives, you can see the spray gives a wider coverage here. So I am using this now for spraying to the throat region. I am using this spray which is a wider base because throat is a wider area, so it's better to cover with a wider base. This is filled with ethyl alcohol 70%, and I am spraying it to the throat region. You can see the spray is coming and it's covering a wider area. So like this. Like this. So spray throughout the throat region all around. There will be bitter taste, but then that is, since ethyl alcohol is there, don't wash up the mouth immediately, and you can take some sweets, etc. if bitterness is there too much, but it will disappear after some time. So that is about spray, nasal spray and throat spray. Next is the swab method, the second weapon. Now again, nasal swab and throat swab. For nasal swab, I have taken a very commonly used item, that is the earbud. It has the swabs on both the ends. I use one end for one nostril and another end for another nostril. So what I do is, I dip the bud, the swab region, into the 70% ethyl alcohol and put it into the nostril, into the nose, one nose, and move it around the nose so that it covers as much area as possible. Like this. Again, take it out, dip the other end in ethyl alcohol and use it for the other nose. Like this. Then discard it, sanitize your hand. Next is throat swab. Since throat is a wider area, so I have taken a wider swab, a bigger swab, which can cover the wider area. Same thing, I dip it in 70% ethyl alcohol and apply the swab into the throat region like this. All around the throat. Discard it. Sanitize your hands again. Now these are the two weapons I have used, spray and swab. The third weapon is I am keeping it under bit suspense. I'll tell about it a little bit better later. Just for the moment I am keeping it under suspense. Now I am removing the suspense and showing what exactly this third weapon is. This is a nebulizer which is used in many other conditions. This is nothing new, but it is being repurposed here for use in this condition for the first time. I don't think anybody has used it for the coronavirus, this nebulizer. Otherwise, it's used by patients of asthma, patients of other respiratory diseases. So it's nothing uncommon. Now coming to the use of the nebulizer, how that is to be used, I'll give you the demo for that. Now again here also we are using the same substance, ethyl alcohol, 70%. Okay, now this is the medicine cup in which the medicine is put in the nebulizer. I put ethyl alcohol 70% into the medicine cup. Close it, close the cup. connect it to the mask portion, and connect the whole thing into the nebulizer by this tubing. So this nebulizer is now ready for use, and as we put it on mode, you can see the vapor will come out. This is how the vapor will come out on nebulizer. So that is ethyl alcohol being nebulized, and now I'll tell you how exactly it is to be used. Since we are going to attack the virus both in the nose and the throat region, so one has to use it accordingly. One is first close your mouth while with the mask on. Close your mouth, nose is open, and take inhale. It will go into the nasal region. Then close the nose by applying pressure on this mask, because it is a flexible one, and nose is closed, mouth is open now, so it will go into the throat region. And in the third step, you keep open both the nose and the mouth. Now like this. First, I close the mouth and open the nose and inhale. It goes into the nose. Now I close the nose and open the mouth like this. By pressing on this flexible part of this face mask, you can close the nostril easily like this. Keeping the mouth open, it will go to the throat region. Now both nose and throat, keep mouth open and nose open also, and inhale. Like this. So that is nebulizer being used for a altogether new purpose. Now, if this is successful, again I am telling you this based on my hypothesis, it needs scientific validation. I am requesting the ICMR and other research bodies like CSIR and COVID Task Force, All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences, etc., to undertake a standardization of this and scientific validation. Now, if this is successful, for the time being, I will tell if, but most likely it's going to be. If it is successful, then it will be a game changer. All these three will be game changer, but especially the nebulizer will be a game changer, because the COVID death will be avoided. And not only the death will be avoided, hospitalization can be avoided, ventilator will be avoided, can be avoided, ICU, oxygen, costly tests, all these things will be avoided. So economically also it is beneficial. It's beneficial not only to the patient and the patient's relations, family members. They will be also they will save themselves from the trouble being taken once the patient is hospitalized. So multiple benefits. Now not only that benefits to the person, but it will also benefit to the government and to the state, because the government will have to can reduce the expenditure on health infrastructure like ventilator, hospital, ventilator, ICU, beds, all these things. So that is economically also beneficial to the state. So these are the advantages both to the individual as well as to the state. So this can be a game changer not only in India but all over the world. Before I finish, I would like to tell about the precautions and warnings that need to be taken. Now, please don't undertake this procedure till the scientific validation and scientific standardization has been completed. I have already requested ICMR and other bodies for scientific validation and standardization, and after that is achieved, only this procedure is to be undertaken. Because we are using a strong alcohol at 75% strength, and we do not know whether it's going to cause have any harmful effect on the mucosa on which you are applying that, mucosa in the nose, throat, respiratory passage, and even alveolar lining. So that has to be assessed whether it is causing any harm to the mucosal lining. Secondly, it has also to be assessed whether a single application is enough to kill the virus or multiple applications are to be done. And if multiple applications are to be done, how frequently, how many times it is to be done. All these things need to be worked out. And please don't undertake this procedure till all these facts are known. Secondly, this is only for the COVID-19 patients, confirmed COVID-19 patients. It's not applicable in other diseases. So one has to get confirmed that one is having COVID-19 infection. That is usually done by RT-PCR test, and then only those patients with COVID-19 infection can undertake this procedure, subject to scientific validation and standardization. The next is it is to be done with in the initial stage of the infection, that is initially 4 to 5 days. I have already described that in detail. So initial stage, when the virus is still in the nose and the throat region. Once the virus goes down to the lungs, then it is not going to be effective. So there is no point of doing this after the lungs and after the virus in the nose and throat, they descend down to the lungs. And this usually happens in the initial 4 to 5 days when the virus is present in the nose and throat region. After that, it goes down to the lungs. So that is another point that is to be kept in mind. And lastly, never use the hand sanitizer solution for undertaking this procedure. It's only for only 75% alcohol, ethyl alcohol is to be used. No other substance, and never the hand sanitizer solution. Thank you.